Um, so let me stop this. Okay. Uh-oh. Let's fix that. All right. So I think everybody is with me. Make sure you log into Edsby and Plato. Does everybody microphone work? So Michaela, Micaiah, Tyshawn, is your microphone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, good, good. Michaela, I didn't hear you. I don't know if I did.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, okay, email from banking. Um, so let's go through our norms real quick. Rush, you might want to jump in and you do your spiel. First on the list, of course, is Mr. Stuckey. I want you to say it with your chest, loud. Maybe, I don't know.
I'm
Can you
have to
do the
go
noise
to a
first?
person. So help me so much to our security perfect and so because all of his to go to class and we are to participate in your office. So the people teachers we are definitely
Okay, thank you, sir. A little bit better, but you got to talk into the microphone, okay? So let's try someone else. Let's go to Michaela. Can you read this screen here, please?
Chicago Public Schools policy for the entire duration of the classroom must be attended and participating and you'll be removed from graduation back as a fee. If you are marked absent 24 days or more, you'll automatically fail the course and be required to take the material in order to graduate.
All right, thank you. So let's continue on. All right, Mr. Rush, can you do your thing?
Good morning. Good morning. GGI Townhouse, Monday through Friday, 11:15 a.m. Please encourage your peers to attend and participate. Mr. Tyler is amongst one of the staff that gives out credit and participation points, for your assignments.
Rush, you muted yourself.
Oh, sorry. We also announce any important information, beneficial, job opportunities, just any opportunities in general that will benefit you. So that's another reason why I really encourage y'all to be there, to take advantage of the news, that we might have for y'all. So, just please attend Monday through Friday, 11:15 a.m. Raspberry Pi kits, very essential to Mr. Tyler's class. If you have one that's having issues, any kind of issues, please let Mr. Tyler know so we can try to troubleshoot it for you. He won't know if you don't speak up. And if you don't have one at all, please let us know, either one of us, so we can get you a Raspberry Pi kit. Again, it's very handy. It's a small computer. It's came in handy for me plenty of times. So it's definitely good to have. Maybe your laptop, might left it or might have died or something. You just need a backup plan. So it's just really beneficial in so many ways. So take advantage, y'all. Just please let us know if you don't have one so we can get you one. Every Wednesday and Thursday, learn the code for the convenience of your home.
Rush, this one's
Um,
expired.
oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't. So as I say, that this is going to pretty much continue as Let's Code sometime in fall. All right, Rush,
Okay.
choose who you want to read.
Go ahead, Stucky. May not be playing no games. I see your eyes moving around.
it has to be able to complete the variable is because of what's resources class. So that it gets all people with so because of numbers to keep a focus.
You be trying to talk all smooth, man. I don't know. All right, it's real low. He gonna look at me like what? Real low. All right, Rush, who should read next? This boy.
Go ahead, Tyshawn.
Students will be able to utilize Plato Edmonton online courseware Unit 1 can kinematics 1, introduction to physics module to define physics and how it relates to other science. Classroom term of the day is kinematics. Word of the day is discrepancy.
There you go. Discrepancy. All right. So, of course, this is your exit slip information. You might want to open up your exit slip if you got it saved already. But at any rate, we're going to go through what you have to do to get this assignment done for today. So, the top of the list, of course, is your townhouse information. In the event that you don't know where that information is, you didn't save it, it's always listed at the top of the list in EDSB in your classroom view, as well as the Bitmoji classroom in case you need that to go back and do your exit slip. Let's come down here to today's assignment. You'll see listed at the very top or second of the list at the top, Plato Physics A Online Training Module Unit 1, Kinematics 1, Introduction to Physics. And this is for today, June 14th. So let's grab this whole thing in parts. That. Come over here and grab this. Close that. And we're going to grab this. All right. And I'm going to come here and say, hey, how you doing? Okay. So I think, let's see, who, I was going to ask Mikeia, but I'll see her. So Michaela, I know Jalen read, can you read what's in the chat? It's worth 45 points. You start at the very top with hello and down to Zen, and no, you don't have to read the links.
Hello, good morning to all physics and algebra students. The next of my Bitmoji class will begin utilizing Plato in a minute from two. Today's assignment module unit 1, kinematics 1, introduction to physics. Please follow the instructions below. Your coursework is illustrated via this link. You need to be sure that you have access to a laptop or personal computer to be successful with all projects. You will required to take your time and pay attention to the instructions of each module and be successful, obtain at least 80% or higher of the overall completion. If your score is less than 80%, you'll be required to retry the lab until the appropriate score is achieved. Starting example is take care of the resume.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Okay, so let's everybody click on that link. Again, the exit slip link is here. Make sure you know that. It's in the second part of, well, the last part of what Michaela had read. And it looks like this. So if you bookmark the link and everything, you can get started on it as I talk through and just finish it out. You got to look up the definitions for, what was it? One of them was kinematics. And then look at the definition for the word of the day, which is discrepancy. Put the definitions into the exit slip. Full name, date, class name is physics with algebra, and this is period 2. All right, this is 30 points of your score, so don't forget to take care of it. Now let's jump into Plato, right? The Plato section we're in currently is physics with algebra Q4, or for quarter 4, last quarter of the year, right? So I could go through and check scores, which I'll do later, but I want to take us to what we're working on specifically today. So use this time to log in, like I'm doing. To click on the account, in case you forgot what that was, it's CERL, right? Next, you're going to type in your username, which is simply your first and last name, one word. So mine's is mine's, but yours is yours. So do that now if you haven't logged in already. And then last component is, of course, the password. And you all should know what your password is by now. Log in. Uh-oh, what did I do wrong? I might have typed something too fast. Okay. And I think last time I was in here, I did check to see if anybody needed anything unlocked. So if you haven't done so already, you can still go back. Let me check my listing. There is no unlocked still. So you can still go back and finish any score that may have been a low score for you. Let's jump into today's work. So you're going to click, like I said, the course that says Physics with Algebra Q4. Scroll it down. Looks like this. And we're going to go into the curriculum real quick and take a look at some of the material. Now, the only thing you need to do is scroll down so you see Unit 1, Kinematics 1, and we're working on Introduction to Physics, okay? The tutorial. Like I said before, the best way to do this is to open up the tutorial, like so. And if you're on a computer, not a phone, you're able to resize your screens and get both the material. Now, if you can't do that, then you're going to have to tab through, or as I told some students, I think you can't, because I forgot who said that was not possible, but you can go through the mastery test and copy and paste all the questions they have, right? So you can actually select all the questions and put it into another document. That's the easiest way. And then go to tutorial and figure out what the answers may be. All right. So you see how like I highlighted? You just highlight it all, click and drag, and hit copy and put it into a new document. That's the easiest way I can tell you. That way you can figure out what your answers are, go in and answer the test and do well. If you lock yourself out of it, I can go back and unlock the test for whatever reason. You start, stop, lose internet. I can go back and restart it. You have a limited time to take the test. But remember the stipulation. The rule is 80% or more to move on to the next session. And we will have new sections every day of this week. So please don't fall behind. All right, now we're going to go through a little bit of the tutorial, like I said. That's the question. This is a new section. Curriculum, section details. Let's do here. And we're going to go tutorial, and I'm going to have to resize it with tab view. So this is tutorial. We're going to go through a few of the sections together to give you an idea of what's going on. And then I'll give you some time to work on it yourself. Okay. There may be sections you have to read along, but we're going to do a max of 2 questions together before we work on it independently. Let me change the screens. And then we're going to go here. Tutorial. Okie dokie. So mute myself.
Introduction to Physics. In this lesson, you will define physics, consider how it relates to other sciences, and examine how scientists have contributed to our understanding of the physical world. Introduction. William is playing his new online game Peacemaker with players from England, India, Mexico, and Canada. Together, they plan and propose ideas to promote peace in the Israel-Palestine conflict. The group plays the game online using an internet connection that is routed through a communications satellite orbiting Earth. The players may take for granted this modern technology, which enables people located thousands of miles away from each other to communicate in real time. They probably don't know that this technology is rooted in the discovery of rules that govern the movement of heavenly and earthly bodies. Many scientists contributed to our understanding of these rules, but the pioneer among them was an Italian scientist who lived more than 400 years ago, Galileo Galilei. When Galileo first turned his handmade telescope toward the night sky, the sheer beauty of the sight amazed him. He wasn't only interested in the beauty of nature, however. He wanted to know how nature worked. Galileo made observations using his telescope, which could magnify objects to more than 32 times their actual size. His observations and conclusions led to discoveries that intrigued and fascinated some people. Others were enraged because his findings contradicted the beliefs of the Catholic Church at that time. Based on his discoveries and his studies, Galileo concluded that Earth was not a large center of a small universe, but rather a small body in a much larger universe. His conclusion overturned Aristotle's theory, which stated that Earth is a stationary body and all other heavenly bodies revolve around it. Galileo became the first scientist to discover that the Sun is the center of our solar system and that all planets, including Earth, move around it. Let's take a closer look at the life of Galileo, who is now regarded as the father of modern science. Galileo was born on February 15, 1564, in Pisa, Italy. Although he first aspired to be a doctor, he became a physicist, astronomer, and mathematician. Most of his contributions came from a combination of experimentation and calculations. Galileo was well known for the method of inquiry he used to understand events. His most significant contributions to physics were the discoveries of the fundamental principles of motion. For example, he discovered that when two objects of different masses are dropped from the same height, they hit the ground at the same time. He was also the first to define speed as the ratio of distance traveled to time taken. His observations of the stars of the Milky Way led to the hypothesis that the Sun is embedded within a disk of stars. Many of Galileo's observations challenged Aristotle's ideas, which had been accepted as true for centuries. In fact, his observation that the Sun and not Earth was the center of the universe was strongly opposed by the Catholic Church. For this reason, in 1633, he was sentenced to house arrest for the remainder of his life. Galileo is considered the first true scientist and the first physicist, but many more followed in his footsteps. Let's begin our study of physics by looking at a few of the other pioneers who helped describe how the universe works.
It's time for our end class points section. Coming back to Jalen, can you read what's on the screen there? Can you see it?
Talking about patterns of physics, click each event on the timer to remember truths that may significantly fit these controls on the left to expand and count the time to begin.
It's kind of hard to hear you, but okay. Let's come here to the arrow. You just click on the arrow, it goes to the next great scientist. Uh, does it say it?
Timeline. Pioneers of physics.
No, I know what that does. Okay, so next is Carson. No, that's Carson. I'm sorry. Yeah, Carson. Hey, Sean, can you read what's on the screen here? It's Nicholas Copernicus, 1473 to 1543.
Nicholas, how you pronounce it?
Nicholas Copernicus.
Nicholas Copernicus was a Polish mathematician,
Mathematician.
mathematician and astronomer. He was the first scientist to dispute the idea that Earth was the center of the universe. Instead, he proposed that the Sun remained stationary in the center and Earth revolved around it. This theory was known as the
Heliocentric.
heliocentric model. Copernicus
Copernicus.
proposed a direct relationship between the density of planets from the Sun and the size of their orbits. This relation meant that a planet closer to the Sun would have a smaller orbit than one farther from it. At that time, Copernicus' ideas were hugely controversial. Still, they were influential, and the world started looking at the movement of celestial bodies in a different way. The heliocentric model was later supported by Ga- Gali- Galileo because of his ideas. Copernicus is considered the initiator of the science revolution.
Scientific revolution. Thank you, sir. That is 20, no, actually 25 points. Let's move on to someone else. Of course, this is the guy that just talked about. So who is that? Michaela, can you read this one?
I'm gonna go to it on my screen.
You said come to back to you?
I'm going to it on my screen.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's see here. Jalen, want to take this one? And I'll take Newton, I guess.
Galileo, Galileo,
Was
Galileo,
Galileo Galilei.
Galileo was an Italian physicist, astronomer, and inventor. He supported the heliocentric view starting at Earth and the planet revolve around a stationary sun located at the center of the solar system. His support, he supported the monitoring opposition from some forces and surveillance. Ironically, his book Dialogue concerning the two-shift resistance, 1632, in which he justified his stand, became one of his most famous books. He also began work on the book Motion, but it was not published.
You gotta finish, dude. You skipped the whole paragraph.
Yet, daily fascination, the telescopes led him to discover some cosmic observations about the surface of the Earth's moon and discovered Jupiter's four largest moons. Unfortunately, the telescope observation of the sun damaged his eyes and became blind at the age of 72.
Thank you, sir. Telescopic. So he's looking through the telescope, and at this time, with heliocentric, a lot of people were pretty much under the understanding or assumption that everything revolved around Earth, and that was not true. The church also didn't like that he figured this out because it feels good to think everything revolves around you, right? But with his telescopes and these sunspots, he realized that all the planets were revolving around the sun, and that was kind of something new at that time. This is 1642, very long time ago. Coming to, of course, one of the people that is very notorious or very famous in physics, this guy right here, Sir Isaac Newton, 1643 to 1727. Mikhail, did you say you was going to the washroom? Is that what you said? Or?
No, I said I was going to the slide on my computer.
Oh, you say you was done with your computer.
What?
I can't hear you. You
I
sound
said
far
I
away.
was going to the slide on my computer. It's
Oh,
easy.
you're making it to the slide. Are you okay? So are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and take Isaac Newton for us.
Isaac Newton, 1643, 1727. Isaac Newton was an English physic,
Physicist.
physic, physics, physicist and mathematician. He is considered to be one of the most influential people in human history because of his work to define classical mechanics. Newton's three laws of motion concern inertia, acceleration, and action and reaction. These laws describe the relationship between forces acting on the body and the body's motion due to these forces. Newton also investigated the phenomenon of light. He invented the first reflecting telescope. This instrument was smaller than a conventional refracting telescope, but had an impressive magnifying powers. Using prisms, he discovered that the white light is a mixture of a rainbow spectrum of light rays. He inferred that different colors of light bend at slightly different angles when entering or leaving a transparent medium such as water or a glass prism. Newton's conclusions about universal gravitation and the three laws of motion were so fundamental to the field of physics that we still describe most of the physical phenomena. How you say that?
Phenomena.
Oh, okay. Phenomena we experience as Newton's mechanics.
Newtonian mechanics. Very good, Mikhail. Okay, so look, I don't want to go too far because I want you to have time to go through it. Check out all the scientists because I got a feeling that some of those questions might relate to those scientists. It's not just stuff you glance over. There are 28 slides. Within those 28 slides, like we did with our books for the Raspberry Pis, is your answers to the mastery test. Right? All you gotta do is read through slowly. I don't think it's a whole lot of calculations, and if there are, they're simple ones. Uh, Take your time. All right. Let me switch screens real quick. I'm going to review something. So this is our exit slip for today, right? Let me stop this because I can't share it the way I want to share it. And come here. There goes my present feature. It just went active. And come here and share. Our screen. All right, Tyshawn, I would like for you to read what's coming up on the screen there, which is what you're going to use for your edge slip, everybody. So, Tyshawn, you see it?
The students will be able to utilize Play-Doh Momentum online courseware Unit 1 Kinematic 1 Introduction to Physics module to define physics and how it relates to other sciences. Classroom term of the day is kinematics or day discrepancy.
Thank you, sir. All right, so look, what we're going to do right now, come here, let's give you a couple of minutes to work on it. Remember, the easiest part of today, before you jump too far into Play-Doh, is knocking out the edge slip and turning it in. After that, work on Play-Doh, right, to finish this module with 80%. If you happen to go through and you get a low score, I don't know for whatever reason, because you should be going through the slides right now and be looking on Play-Doh to see if you start it. That includes you too, Jalen. You should be starting it. There's a timer to see if you actually began it. So everybody should be starting going through the slides. If you want to help yourself out, you can actually copy the questions, like go through the mastery test, copy the questions. If it locks you out, let me know. I'll reset it and put the questions on a document, a Word doc, showing you ways to get through college, job. You take good notes and then you tackle the test by going through the material. But you gotta know what you're trying to attack, right? So try to get all the questions you think there are. I think it's 10 questions in total. So if you go through, you only see five. Know that when you go through again, you might see five more. It's randomized, but the goal is just 80%. So it's 10:50. We get out of here 11:10. We'll give you about let's say 15 minutes. We're gonna do another share out of the objective, townhouse information, and then we're gonna get ready for the next period, or sorry, lunch. Then put a clock up here. Everybody should be either working on their Play-Doh module, right, or their exit slip. Let's say it's 14 now. Okay. Okay, everybody. So we're at the end of class. Let's see here. Tyshawn, can you read that screen for us one last time, and then we're gonna get ready for GTI.
Students will be able to utilize Play-Doh online, Play-Doh online, and Mentum online courseware. Unit 1, Kinematics 1, Introduction to Physics module to define physics and how it relates to other sciences. Classroom term of the day is kinematics, word of the day, discrepancy.
All right, great job. And then Makayla, I would like for you to read the GGI information I'm about to put in here, and that's gonna be it for us. So you see it in the chat. Townhouse down is in. Huh? One second, Russ. Jalen, go ahead and read the townhouse information. I think Makayla stepped away in the chat.
GMT is often let's continue looking for. Let's go ahead on today's Zoom.
One second. So everybody's free to go. Remember, GGI starts at 11:15. So see there, and hope you have a good evening. If I don't see you for the rest of the periods, please get everything done.